Yeah, but this is about making a point to Ashley, and I hate to put you in the middle of it, but she needs to understand that she works for the public. She's not the local lord of the fiefdom, so she's going to have to learn her place here today.
PRO works on the 5th floor. Let me go up and see if she's even here. I don't know.
While the Washington State Department of Transportation does love breaking the law, clearly, as they've already done it with the records index, I'm asking you, can I go upstairs with you right now and inspect the record? Is it ready for me to inspect right now? The index, I mean.
I don't know where the index is.
She is being completely obstinate and unprofessional right now.
It sounds like you probably need the public records officer, my supervisor, to be here who would know where
Yeah,
that
you
is.
might want to get him down here then. I want to inspect the public records index.
Public records index. I don't even know what that is.
So she might want not to do this, but that's her choice. And you're telling me I need to schedule with him? It's about my convenience, not his. This is legislated. It's not an option for him. I mean, who does he think he is? It shouldn't take a reporter working on government transparency to help her do her job better. Hey everyone, I am free. It's October 24th, 2024. I'm in the city of Olympia, Thurston County. It's the capital of the Communist Empire of Washington State. I'm heading on over past the Washington State Attorney General's office right here. Palpable sense of evil emanating from it. To the Department of Natural Resources. I'm going to go over here and inspect their records index. Because I'll tell you, the Public Records Act, specifically the Records Index, has started turning into a bit of a firestorm here in Washington State. I know it's not the sexiest discussion or topic ever, but it is turning into quite the thing, quite the story here, where many agencies are scrambling to come into compliance after the fact to prevent. Oh, wow. Can't come in and do a public records request, or maybe you can. Hello.
Hello there. How can I help you?
I'm looking to inspect the Public Records Index.
I'm sorry, what is that?
I'm looking to inspect the Public Records Index.
Okay, I'll get a hold of somebody that can help you.
Great, thanks. Appreciate it.
My last name is Howe. And we're just coming down to see exactly what you were looking at.
Yeah, I just want to be, are you the Public Records Officer?
No, I'm not, but I can reach out to public records.
Great.
I just wanted to make sure
Yeah, I'm
that
looking to inspect the Records Index.
Okay, all right, let me go ahead, and I know they have at least one person here for the Public Records Department, so let me go and reach out to them and see if I can get somebody to come down.
Okay. Yeah, this is the administrative offices, right?
This is the Department of Natural Resources.
Yeah, but this is their administrative offices.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure I went to the right place.
Okay, absolutely.
Thanks.
I'll go ahead and get somebody to come down.
All right, thanks. Hello.
Hi.
Just looking to inspect the Public Records Index.
Yeah, so we just talked to our public records office, and we just need your contact information for them to contact you to make an appointment to look at the records, since they need to know which records you want to look at, and then they have to prepare them and see if there's anything that's exempt.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a misunderstanding here.
Oh, okay.
I'm referring to the index, not
The index.
Yeah, not requestable records, the one that is maintained. So if you look in the WAC, it's in Title 332, Chapter 10, Section 130, subsection 1E. All right, let's take a look at the Washington Administrative Code that governs the Public Records Index for the Department of Natural Resources. Washington Administrative Code, Title 332, Chapter 10, Section 130, titled Records Index for the Department, says in Section 1, the Department maintains the following methods to index its records. It then goes on to list what those are. The important part, though, comes up in Section E, where it is written that to conform with RCW 42.56,
1.070 subsection 5, the following indexes and files are maintained by the rules coordinator in the department's administrative office. If you recall, just a moment ago, I confirmed that this was the administrative offices.
Yeah, this is the administrative offices, right?
This is the Department of Natural Resources.
Yeah, but this is their administrative offices. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
For the Department of Natural Resources. That's exactly why I asked that question from subsection E. From there, it goes on to say, all records issued before July 1st, 1990, for which the department has maintained an index, final orders entered after June 30th, 1990, that are issued in adjudicated proceedings, as defined in RCW 34.510.1, and that contain an analysis or decision of substantial importance to the department carrying out its duties. Section 3, declaratory orders entered after June 30th, 1990 that are issued pursuant to RCW 34.5.240 and that contain an analysis or decision of substantial importance to the department in carrying out its duties. Subsection 4 goes on to say interpretive statements is defined in RCW 34.510.8 that were entered after June 30th, 1990. And finally, Section 5, policy statements is defined in RCW 34.510.14 that were entered after June 30th, 1990. And it finishes by saying, copies of all indexes shall be available for public inspection and copying during business hours and in accordance with WAC 332.1080. The indexes shall be kept current and updated annually. So what this makes clear and evident is I can go there during business hours and inspect the Public Records Index. As you're going to see here shortly, there's a misunderstanding that the Public Records Index is a document to be requested. It isn't. It's an index to help assist in making records requests. It has a very specific function, and it's very useful if they have it.
Okay.
There is a public records index that's supposed to be maintained.
Okay.
It says it's maintained in the administrative offices of the Department of Natural Resources. And it says it's always up to date. So it's something you just come in and you just inspect. It's
Okay.
always ready to go. Basically.
Gotcha. Okay, then was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's what-
Let us check on that really quick, and
Cool.
we'll get back.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Did you guys track it down?
Yeah, we just got done off the phone with the officer. She says that all of the public records people work remote, and so they would have to collect your information and then make an appointment to be able to show you those things.
Here's one of the absolutely absurd situations with everyone working at home these days. A statutorily available index for assisting in making public records requests, which is supposed to be available for inspection during business hours as required by law, and is in fact supposed to be kept current and updated annually, is not available because public employees are largely working at home, and it's inconvenient for them, the public servant. Though not unbelievable or surprising, it is shocking. This is your government working at home, Washington State, making it that much more difficult for you to get your work done that you pay these people to do for you.
Yeah, I think there's a problem here then. That's literally in violation of the statute, so that's awkward.
Can you tell us the WAC one more time?
Yeah, I'll show it to you. There's hold on, I just want to set this down somewhere. Oh, here. You can come over here. I just want to get my phone out. Look right here, Department of Natural Resources. You can make sure we're in the right spot there. Public records. You go to 130, records index of the department. You go. So here's all the things that are supposed to be maintained, like right now, just ready to be inspected. The automated track book, commissioner and department orders since 1975. Board of Natural Resources meeting index and resolutions, administrative rule docket, and then to conform with that statute I mentioned, Section 70 of the PRA, it says the following indexes and files are maintained by the rules coordinator in the department's administrative office. And you just said this is the administrative office, so those are all upstairs. So, and then it says in accordance with 332.1080, you can go in there during business hours.
Okay, let's go ahead and get that information. We're going to go make some phone calls and see if there's somebody that can access that. We so few people in the building right now, so we're kind of limited on
Okay,
who's available to help us.
Can you tell me it one more time? 332.1080?
10130 is the public records index.
Okay.
And like I said, that's different than like a normal public records request. So like if I came in and said, I just want to know everybody's email address, I can submit that. Takes time. You guys got 5 days to respond, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
On the records main index, as it says there in the code, it has to be maintained, and it says it's also updated annually and maintained annually. So that's something I just got to be able to look at, and if yikes, it's not there, that's not good.
Well, I'm sure it's here. We just don't have anybody working, like everybody's working remotely in the public records, and we don't know how to.
Yeah, and it says it's supposed to be available during business hours, so
Yeah.
it's not it's not like a make an appointment kind of a thing. It just has to be available at all times. During normal business hours.
Right.
I don't get my midnight special right here, so.
All right, we'll go make some phone calls.
Sure.
And try to
Yeah, you bet. Thanks. Okay.
For public disclosure?
To inspect the maintained records index, yes.
So are you asking for a specific record?
I'm not asking for a record. I'm asking to examine and inspect the records index. It's two different things.
So public disclosure only deals with records, anything made, created in the scope of work.
Sorry, I don't even know who are you a public employee?
Sorry, I'm Scott Miller.
Steve.
Public disclosure.
Okay, nice to meet you. Public disclosure with
DNR.
Okay. All right. Are you the PRO?
No, I'm one of the
Designees?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so have you been briefed on anything that I've talked to the other two ladies about?
Just there was someone down here.
Okay, yeah, it's totally different. It'll make it a lot easier if I can just show you on my phone. Otherwise, it's going to just kind of waste both of our times.
Okay.
If you don't. So there's an index that each state agency is required to maintain. And in that index are a series of things that you can come and inspect. And this is inspectable. It's a maintained index. The Washington Administrative Code for the Department of Natural Resources says it's maintained and it's updated annually. You can come to this office specifically and come in here during normal business hours and inspect it because it's maintained. So, give me a second here. It's black 32, 10, and 30. Okay, so this right here, let me show you. I want to make sure you can see that this is DNR. So, Department of Natural Resources, scroll down to, go to 10 for public records. Go down to section 130, records index for the department, right there. And what it says is the department maintains the following methods to index its records: the automated tract book, commissioners and department orders from 1975, Board of Natural Resources meetings, index and resolutions, and the administrative rule docket. And subsection E says to conform with 425675, which is the records index for the state agencies, the following indexes and files are maintained by the rules coordinator in the department's administrative office here.
Okay.
And in section 80, which it references here, I can go in during normal business hours. I don't get the midnight special. But I can come in during normal business hours and inspect it, so I'm here to inspect it.
So, I get that, but
It's not a records request.
Well, then I'm not the correct person to talk to.
Yeah.
So for public disclosure,
It's not a when you come in to inspect the records, it's meant to help me make my records request. It's an index.
Mm-hmm.
So just like an index in a book, it's meant to help you locate something in the book, so you don't have to read the entire thing to find page 12, paragraph 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I need to look at the index so I can make a more efficacious public records request.
So if I can get your contact info, either a phone number or an email, to let you back up there to go inspect. We let people in to inspect stuff all the time. It's not a problem. It just has to be scheduled. We have to know what you're looking for, have that for you out.
This is incredible, everyone. Scott Miller of the Department of Natural Resources is asking me to identify in one manner or another in order to inspect the records index. That is unlawful to require identification to inspect documents or to inspect the records index. We know this as that limitation is found in the Revised Codes of Washington, Title 42, Chapter 56, Section 80, Subsection 2, where it is written that agencies shall not distinguish among persons requesting records, and such persons shall shall not be required to provide information as to the purpose for the request except to establish whether inspection and copying would violate RCW 425678 or 4256-240-14 or other statute which exempts or prohibits disclosure of specific information or records to certain persons. This is a pretty serious issue. Also, I remind you of what Scott said. Provide your email address and phone number to go upstairs. That is in fact distinguishing among persons. Yikes. Not good at all.
And then you can come in some on
It's
that time.
sitting in your office right now.
I don't know what it is. The public records, that's some, no one's ever asked me for the public records index.
It's right there in your DNR WAC. I mean, I just showed it to you.
Whether that, either way, to let you up there, we need to contact you. It's got to be scheduled. Make an appointment.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Section 80 of that WAC,
I don't know that WAC.
I just showed it to you. So Section 80 says I can come in during normal business hours.
Yeah.
You're telling me right now I'm not going to be able to inspect this records request? Or this records index, excuse me? Is that the brass tacks?
Yeah, we didn't make an appointment. We have
You don't have to. It says normal business hours.
Yes, during normal business hours.
Yeah, I'm here to inspect the maintained public records index. It's maintained. It's not something that you have to put together. It's sitting on someone's desk, whoever's desk that is.
So I'm the only one in the office right now. So one, it sounds like you probably need the public records officer, my supervisor, to be here, who would know.
Yeah, you might want to get him down here then. This isn't like on his schedule, man. This is like any member. I'm a member of the press. I'm coming in to make a efficacious public records request, and you're telling me I need to schedule with him? It's about my convenience, not his. This is legislated. It's not an option for him. I mean, who does he think he is? He's just an employee. Well, maybe he should get down here and make this work.
I really don't know what you want me to do for you right now.
I would like to inspect the record. Look, brass tacks.
So that you want to inspect the records. You're asking for that record?
I'm inspecting the records index.
That's a record.
It's not. It's an index. It's separate from a records request. Dude, I'm telling you, this is not the road to go down. This isn't your fight to fight. You might want to get the PRO down here. If I go file a 530 review over at the AG's office, and he finds out that you don't have the records index here, whoever's responsible for that, that's not going to go well.
I didn't say we didn't have it.
Okay, well, it's not a thing where I have to schedule. It's a maintain.
Are you you want to come in and view something that we possess in our office?
The maintained record that is sitting in your office that is available for inspection Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m., that's the one I'm looking for.
So if you want, I can take your info right now and I can put it in our log as a records request. We can gather that log. You're asking to do a record.
It's not a request. It's a completely separate thing. The records request is covered apart from Section 70. So when you go through the Public Records Act and you go in Title 42, Chapter 56, Section 80, in subsection 2, that's the section that talks about making public records requests. Section 70, the one prior to that, doesn't discuss making a records request. It discusses being able to go in and inspect during open business hours an index that is maintained. It's ready to go. It's done. You don't have to put it together or anything.
So for public records, with the office I work in, if you wanted to come in and view that, I have no issue with you coming in and viewing that. But I don't know where that record is right now. So I can't, even if we went up there, I couldn't show it to you because that's not something that's
Who's the PRO?
Anlo.
Anlo?
Yeah.
Yeah, she should probably get down here. I know it might interrupt her pressing lunch engagement with Bob or whoever else is working right now, but I don't care what she's doing. It doesn't matter to me. The fact that she is being that profoundly rude is unbelievable.
How is she being rude?
By not having something, by disrespecting my time. I know that I'm allowed to come in Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 to inspect this.
Yes,
I don't need her here for it. I don't need you. I don't need anyone here for it. I just need to go in.
So where are you going to go? Do you know where it is?
Wherever it is.
That's not a record I maintain.
It's.
I don't know where it is. Even
Hold on
if I took you up, I couldn't show it to you.
I just want to make sure you work in the Department of Natural Resources, right?
Yes.
You're an agent. You're an employee.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't maintain that? You don't maintain it. Is that what you're telling me?
It's not a record in my possession at this moment because I don't know.
But you're an agent of the DNR and you're a designee of the PRO. Are you certain you don't maintain it?
I'm sure we have it. Yes.
Okay, but you do maintain it.
I am assuming.
Okay. So since it's maintained, and it's inspectable without a requirement to make an appointment or identify per subsection 2 of section 80, which is that no one shall be distinguished among other persons, as in you don't have to identify, I don't have to give my ID, you don't have to give my email address or my phone number or anything like that.
Yeah, requests are made anonymously all the time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is to inspect that index, there's no requirement for me to identify, to provide an email address, a phone number, or anything like that.
Within the duties in my job is processing public records requests.
Okay. Well,
So
yeah, I don't
if you're asking for something outside of a public records request, I am not the person.
I'm asking for something within the Public Records Act. You are correct. I'm not asking to file a public records request. I'm definitely not.
But you are asking to view the index, correct?
Correct.
But it would be a record that we maintain.
It is
So you are asking
maintained.
to view that record.
I
So
am.
are you making a public records request?
No, I'm asking to inspect a maintained record that is sitting up in your office right now.
That would be a public records request.
It's not. That is not a request, man. A request is something that I say, I am looking for these records. You guys get 5 days to respond to
Are
that.
you looking to go upstairs and look at a record?
I'm looking to go up and inspect the index.
Yes, that is a record. So if you want to make that public records request, I can take all your info right here.
Look, dude.
You keep it anonymous and whatnot. I'm not trying to be rude here.
Now look,
I'm doing my job. I can't
what
just
I
let
think
you
you're
up there.
trying to do, I'm sure Ann's a lovely lady, okay? What my opinion is right now is that DNR doesn't have this ready, and that's the story I'm working on.
Okay.
If this thing isn't ready right now, if I can't go up there with you right now and inspect it, it's not ready. I'm asking you, can I go upstairs with you right now and inspect the record? Is it ready for me to inspect right now? The index, I mean.
I don't know where the index is.
Okay, so can I go
That is-
upstairs and inspect it?
No.
That's all I need to know, man. Hey, is Fish and Wildlife up on floor 5?
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks. What?
Oh, sorry.
The microphone wasn't on. Sorry
Oh, sorry.
about that.
They're up on floor 5?
Fish and Wildlife are definitely on 5 and 6, but
Where's
they
their admin
are
office?
secured areas. So I would need to call somebody maybe in the director's office for you.
Okay, yeah, if I could get that, that'd be great.
Let me call Tammy and see if she can help you.
Thanks. Wow. Department of Fish and Wildlife. Everything's secure. Everyone's going to get you. Quick, lock everything down. Don't talk to anyone. Don't make any comments. Don't do anything. It's crazy.
You're the one asking to talk to somebody from Fish and Wildlife?
Yeah, I don't need law enforcement services, though.
Oh. Well, I Fish and Wildlife. I work right
Oh,
here.
okay.
Walked past you a couple times today.
Yeah, that's fine. Are you the PRO?
I'm not the PRO.
Okay, I'm just looking to inspect the records index.
You want the PRO?
If you have if the PRO is available, I'm willing to speak to the PRO.
I can check it. What was it you want to see?
I want to inspect the public records index.
Public Records Index. I don't even know what that is.
It's basically just a tool that, just like any other index, it's just a tool meant to aid people in making their public records requests basically narrower, better, more efficacious. So it's supposed to just be inspectable at the headquarters offices.
Okay.
It's just like usually like in a 3-ring binder. It's generally speaking, it has things like general rules and orders, the hierarchy of the organization, things like that.
I'm not sure if the PRO works on the 5th floor. Let me go up and see if she's even here. I don't know, but I'll find out.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be
All
right back.
Thanks.
Sorry, I've never heard of it.
Well, most people haven't. I just generally like to make best use of my time. I'm finding out like most state agencies are just not on top of it. So,
Yeah.
all right, thanks. I am heading on over today working on a story about the Washington State Department of Transportation. I am looking to see if they have their public records index available for inspection. As a state agency, in accordance with RCW 4256-70 subsection 5, they're required to maintain an index, and I'm going to go in there and check that out. Now, of interest about Washington State Department of Transportation and their public records index is that they have, much like a story I worked on recently regarding the Employment Security Department, they have chosen to exempt themselves from the Public Records Act for the Public Records Index. Now that is a big no-no. They are not allowed to do that. As a state agency, they must retain, or create and maintain rather, a public records index. So I am going in there to see if they have it, even though I know they don't have that records index. And I actually want to read to you the index statement. It states the department finds that it would be unduly burdensome and would interfere with department operations to maintain an index of records as specified in RCW 425670 because of the complexity and diversity of its operations and the resulting volume of correspondence, reports, studies, and other materials. So obviously they don't understand what the index is supposed to be, one, and two, they don't have that option. If you look in subsection 4, that's for local agencies to exempt themselves, not state agencies. So I'm going to go in and look, see if they're in compliance with 6806 for their public records and see if they've maybe overhauled it and not sent it to the code reviser. Hello. I am here to inspect the records index.
The records index?
Yep.
Okay.
My goodness. It's the happiest man in the Department of Transportation. In fact, the only happy man in the Department of Transportation.
Okay.
How are you?
Good, how you doing, man?
Not too shabby.
Good. I am here to inspect the records index.
The records index. Let's get our records, folks. They are not here.
Okay.
What? No way. James, I'm shocked. Did you just get back from your walk down to the lake?
No. I skipped that today.
Oh.
My knee was hurting a little bit, so.
Fair enough. Good idea. Yeah, and if you would let them know, because I know what they're going to say, I'm not looking to submit a public records request. I'm looking to inspect the index so that I can make a records request.
Yes. Jeremy?
So her reply back to me was, unfortunately, we do not have one at this time. We are working to build one.
By the way, everyone, I've been into the Washington State Department of Transportation many times, and I want to point out that the only good employee I've met thus far is James Sexton. So, please understand that this is the terrible Secretary of Transportation Roger Millar's fault and his subordinates in the executive team, as well as the Public Records Office, as you are about to see more of here shortly. They said they don't have the records index?
That's what they said.
Yikes. I wonder, is the Department of Transportation like maybe 2 or 3 years old?
19... I don't know, it's been around a long time.
Yeah, way before 1972.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, I wonder what that fine will be at $100 per day per page for not having the records index. Whew. Well, can you tell me who actually sent that?
Her name is Ashley Holmberg.
Holmberg.
She said we can provide a copy of the WSDOT's record retention list that shows WSDOT common records, including our unique record set.
Yeah, but not. They're still building the records index.
That's what it
Gotcha.
says.
Hey, since you have that record, could you just forward that to me? I can give you my email address.
I don't have that. No, she didn't send me the record itself.
Oh, it's a text.
Yeah, she just it's a Teams thing. So,
Oh, gotcha.
I can ask her where that's at, and I can see if I can get it.
Anyway, I could just. Well, could you text? I guess could you screenshot it and text me that? Just a public record.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks.
I just want to get this straight. You said you didn't want to put in public records request to look at the records index, correct?
Correct, because the records index is just a tool meant to aid me in making my records request. So there's nothing to records request. It's just something that's maintained. Well, I should say by law-abiding departments of Washington State's government. But in this case, it's the Washington State Department of Mafia.
So she said that for me to do a screenshot of my phone, you will have to do a PDR though on that though.
Wow. Can you tell her? Can you ask her how long she's been a Sith Lord? And does she hate all Jedi, or can you ask her that for me? Just say there's the reporter here, and he's wanting to know how long she's been on the dark side of the Force. That's literally. Can I just look at it?
Well, no, it still needs PDR.
So I can't even look at it?
No.
Will it be like that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when his face melts off and it just kind of like, you know, the Ark of the Covenant's opened up and everyone's dying? I mean, I don't know if you have a special cell phone or not. I mean, you know, based on how Roger runs this department, I would imagine he's probably got radioactive cell phones that kill everybody when they look at the wrong phone or something.
Just an average ordinary.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I'm going to make a verbal public records request then. And I hate to do this to you, James, because you're an awesome guy, but this is more to smite your friend you're chatting with there than anything. So I'm going to make a verbal public records request for your team's chat log there for the last 15, 20 minutes, whatever it's been.
She said, we do not accept PDRs verbally. He can complete.
Ooh, well. Look at her getting her Associates of Arts degree in I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, fair enough. Well, can you put this in the chat for her and let her know it's WAC space 44 -14 -03006. It's almost like I have an eidetic memory. And what she can find...
Yes, hold on, I'm sorry. You type my fingers in.
That's all right. There is the discussions of in-person requests and verbal requests. And if you could ask her, or if you could tell her, while the Washington State Department of Transportation does love breaking the law, clearly as they've already done it with the records index, if she wants to double down on the whole not taking a verbal public records request, Bob Ferguson on his website under obtaining records has already explained to every state agency you can do it in person. So if she wants a 530 review, I'll walk right over to Bob's office here after I'm done here, and I will bring the train of fun down on her to have a 530 review from the Attorney General's office. If that's what she wants to do, I'm a particularly vindictive person, so we can do this.
All right, everyone. So a 530 review is actually just short parlance for something from the Revised Codes of Washington, Title 42, Chapter 56, Section 530. It's titled Review of Agency Denial. If you get a denial of a public records request, either because they just refuse to take it or something else that ultimately ends up being a denial, you can go to the Attorney General for a state agency and ask for this review of an agency denial. The text of it reads as, whenever a state agency concludes that a public record is exempt from disclosure and denies a person opportunity to inspect or copy a public record for that reason, the person may request the Attorney General to review the matter. The Attorney General shall provide the person with his or her written opinion on whether the record is exempt. Nothing in this section shall be deemed to establish an attorney-client relationship between the Attorney General and a person making a request under this section.
She is being completely obstinate and unprofessional right now. There's no call for that. And tell her I'm already going to file a 530 review for not having the records index. So if they just want to triple down on this, that's fine.
A 530 request?
I'm filing a 530 review. It's a 530.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And I know she'll come back with her smart aleck response of, that's fine, go ahead and let him do it. It will be fine. Well, everyone, as you guys know, I've been working on this story regarding the Department of Transportation for quite some time now, while James is the consummate professional there. And I have a sneaking suspicion that Mary Jo is definitely a professional too. Ashley Holmberg, though, is a reprehensibly awful employee at the Washington State Department of Transportation. She is knowing that James, because he is an awesome public servant, could just give me a screenshot of that right now. She's choosing to go down the other road and have a 530 review filed for them not being in compliance with the Washington State Public Records Act having a records index since 1972. Gosh, that's a long time. And two, she's not taking a public records request from a member of the public in person verbally. So that's fine. That's her choice to make. So you got that okay, gosh dang it, James, I don't want to throw you under the bus here, man. I've made the public records request. I really want this to not affect you. Can you write that down for me and just submit it on my behalf? Because I don't want you getting in trouble for Ashley's bullheadedness.
For what?
Any public employee, once a public records request has been submitted verbally and in person, it has to be transmitted. I know she said that, but
she just says that the WAC does not say how WSDOT has to accept a request.
Now, Ashley, we know that's not true. If we look in Washington Administrative Code, Title 44, Chapter 14, Section 03006, titled In-Person Requests, it's written that an agency must honor requests received in person during normal business hours, per the Revised Code of Washington, Title 42, Chapter 56, Section 80, Subsection 2. An agency should have its public records request form available at the office reception area so it can be provided to a walk-in requester. The form should be directed to the agency's public records officer. So Ashley's probably thinking here, this is my way out of it. It says they should provide a form. Well, that's when we get to the same WAC, 44.14.03.006, where it describes oral requests, where a number of agencies routinely accept oral public records requests. For example, asking to look at a building permit. Some agencies find oral requests to be the best way to provide certain kinds of records. However, for some requests, such as larger or complex ones, oral requests may be allowed, but are problematic. If an agency receives an oral request, the agency's staff person authorized to receive the request, such as the public records officer, should immediately reduce it to writing and then verify in writing that it correctly memorialized the request. So there you go, Ashley. You must have overlooked that one, but it is there in the WACs.
Tell her in RCW 425680 subsection 2, there is no form of the request. And if you go to the Attorney General's website after searching obtaining records, go scroll down 40% down the page, there's a header titled Obtaining Records. And in a bulleted point area, it says one of the ways you can do it is in person. So she might want not to do this, but that's her choice. What I'd like to do is just submit the records request to you as a public employee and have you submit that to them. Ashley can get in trouble. I wouldn't die on that hill, James. It's not worth it, man.
I'm just doing what I've been just trying to do.
Oh no, James, don't do it, man. I like you. So you're not gonna.
I'm not doing anything.
Are you gonna take my public records request?
I can get a form here and.
Yeah, but this is about making a point to Ashley, and I hate to put you in the middle of it, but she needs to understand that she works for the public. She's not the local lord of the fiefdom, so she's going to have to learn her place here today.
Right, I'm just saying I can get the form out and write it down.
Oh, so you're going to do it? Fine. Yeah, that's great.
I'm just saying, I'll just listen to what you say.
Perfect.
Write it down.
That's awesome, James. This is why you.
Then I can scan it to her.
That's why you need to be over there where Roger is. You make too much sense, and you're too good of a person. Awesome. Okay.
I will go ahead and get that scanned over.
Okay. And then I would like you to please send to her and I'm just requesting you to send to your boss too a commendation for you for actually doing your job correctly. Seriously. That's what Ashley did was horrible. That's so abusive. It's against the Washington Administrative Codes. It's against state law. She knows it, or she doesn't know her job well. It shouldn't take a reporter working on government transparency to help her do her job better, especially when someone like you is a good public servant just willing to help. So I'll get those records, and if you would, in case you haven't, let her know. I'm going to walk over there right now and file a 530 review for the records index. Mm-hmm. So,
I did let her know.
Good. I really like the General Tecumseh Sherman, just salt the earth and burn it all down kind of stuff from the Civil War. So we'll see if we can do that in the 530 review today. So have a good day.
You too.
Hello?
How can I help you?
I am looking to file two 530 reviews.
Two 530s? Okay, I'm not certain exactly on that process. I can grab my supervisor who is aware of that process.
Sure.
Okay, just one moment.
Well,
I do for you.
funny meeting you here.
Yeah, I know.
I have two 530 reviews to file.
Okay.
Sorry, I have three.
Okay. 530 review.
The first one is for the Department of Natural Resources. I went to inspect their records index, and I know you'll be shocked to hear this, but they didn't have it available.
Okay.
Yet in Washington Administrative Code 332-10,
Admin code 332-10-130,
-130, subsection 1E.
subsection 1E.
It states that they'll have it available at the administrative offices during normal business hours. It's not a record to be requested. It's an index to assist in making records requests. But Scott decided he was going to reinterpret the Records Act and wouldn't allow me to inspect it. So I'd like to have that addressed. That should be available per the administrative code. The second one is with the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife. So the chief of enforcement didn't even know what a records index was. The public records officer, again shocking, was not there and was at home. And so couldn't come in. He was probably too busy playing World of Warcraft and eating Ritz crackers. So I'd like to have that addressed because I should be able to go in and inspect the records index. It's a state agency once again.
Okay.
And the last one is WSDOT over at the headquarters. Much like the Employment Security Department vying for top mafia department in the state, they just simply exempted themselves even though they're not allowed to. They did cite RCW 42.56.070 subsection, or I'm sorry, they didn't even have a subsection. It was just 425670. It's subsection 4 that allows local agencies to exempt. Subsection 5 requires all state agencies to have the public records index. They literally did the bold move, Cotton, and they decided to put in the administrative codes in 468-06-140.
468, sorry, what was that?
468-06-140, that they're exempting themselves. Apparently they're hearkening back to the old days of good old Britain when we had kings and things like that. So that's a good cosplay for Halloween at least.
There you go. Okay, perfect. So we have WSDOT, Department of Fish and Wildlife, as well as Department of Natural Resources.
Yes, it's the triumvirate of Public Records Act violations for the later afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah, let me go ahead and give our Public Records Office a call and see if somebody can come down and assist you with that.
Fair enough.
Sure. All right, give me one moment.
All right, so that is 3 530 reviews filed against the Department of Natural Resources. Within that building is the Department of Fish and Wildlife, and over there on the other side of the Attorney General's office here is the Washington State Department of Transportation. They literally, just like the Employment Security Department, put their own exemption in referencing 425670. Unfortunately, they failed to read that in subsection 4. That's local agencies can exempt themselves, not state agencies. So we're going to see where this goes. I'm also going to review the public records index for the Washington State Attorney General. And I'll be back in a minute when they get back here.
Fantastic news. No one from the Public Records Unit is in the office today.
Well, this is my shocked face.
Yeah. So I just spoke with one of our senior public records officers, Kristen Young, who will be available to email you if you want to have her contact you about how to go about getting it, because she's the one who handles the records.
So I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. In this moment right now today, I am not going to be able to inspect the public records index of the Washington State Attorney General.
Correct.
I'd like to file a 530 review for that.
Okay.
I don't know if that's some random Sith Lord you guys will find to do that review since it's Bob's own agency, but if you guys, when you email me, could let me know who's actually going to conduct the review since it's Bob reviewing himself, that'd be great.
Gotcha. Okay, so no record index available. Okay. Is that okay? Do you know records index available?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it is. I'd like to inspect it, and everybody's at home eating Cheetos. So my email address is the one I had before. It's anonymous citizen WA at protonmail.com. All right, man.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks.
I'll get the rest of you over there.
All right. Appreciate it. All right, well, that tells you a lot right there. The Attorney General doesn't have a public records index that's available for inspection. So I wonder how the reviews are going to go on the other state agencies right there. But it is telling that the Washington State Department of Transportation head of security, well, I shouldn't say head of security, the security guy, James Sexton, really cool guy, as you saw. He said out loud that they're working on making the index, yet they declared they were going to exempt themselves from it. Yikes. So I attempted to review that index, and they didn't have it. So that's, yeah, pretty bad.